What's the initial feeling out of that? And you take a breath? It looked like every time the camera was on you, you were standing up.
Yeah, I'll stand up a fair bit actually, sort of thing. Sort of back, old age I think is probably more to the point. But look, it was a great game of footy. Like, it's tough. I thought both sides are quite capable of winning the game, and we were just fortunate at the end to be on the right end of the scoreboard. But I said to the players, it was a high contest game, 150 contested possession each, high pressure, 1.93. That's a big boys game of footy. I was really pleased. In particular, normally our motto's been, if you lose clearance, you beat the Suns. We lost clearance by -11, been a strong suit this year, and they went to work and got the job done, but we found another way to win, which is really important. Bank on our turnover game, which is important, and some things that they did really well. Their forward line is so tough to combat against, so I probably got a few things wrong with that I'll go to work on, but overall it was a great win for our boys.
How did you think you handled the last couple of minutes when it got really
Yeah, not too bad. I thought we had some opportunities. Sometimes there's only one side trying to win, and then there's the side trying not to lose. There were some options. I thought when we won the ball back, we could have actually moved the ball to the other side of the ground and instead of going long down the line. We had players available there to be used. We just didn't utilise them. And, it's a lesson for us. I think, I'm not going to lie, 12 months ago we'd probably lose that game. Had some big contest wins at the end, and I thought it was a good game of footy to come out on top, and our guys get a lot out of it.
Did you think Isaac Rankin marked the ball with like a minute and a half left?
Oh, we're not going to go through every free kick, are we, or not? Because there's a few that could have got.
That's the only one.
Yeah, I think there was a.
That's a
swings and roundabouts. The game. It's a tough game to umpire. We understand that. So the fact of the matter is the umpire calls the plays. I don't get to coach it from the box.
Is that like you're right? Like it is. A lot of them are a coin toss. Is it nice that you've made the most and maybe a bit of a slice of luck with all the good work behind it to actually get a result today, rather than being on the other end of the stick?
I think so. But once again, a lot can go down to our leaders and how they perform. And we didn't play particularly well today. We played okay, but once again, a lot of that can come back to the Crows. They were terrific in phases of the game as well. So both sides I reckon can walk away thinking they're in pretty good shape.
You've had that battle at the back there. Sorry, with Mac and Sam and Bodie against all-star cast. Yeah, well,
they kicked some goals. We probably left them isolated. There's some things that we didn't do particularly well in that phase, like I said earlier, and we'll go to work on that as a group. And our team defence at stages was a little bit sloppy. That allowed them to get those goals out the back. But we think we can tidy them up, and we generally have tidied them up. But every time they're big keys. I think kick 9 or 10 between them, which is always a challenge. And something we knew coming in that was a fair indicator that if they're going to win the game, they kick a bag. So it was good to get away with the win.
What did you see in that first half when you had the inside 50 dominance, but you just you couldn't capitalise on it, I guess?
Yeah, there's probably a number of things. I thought we weren't very calm and composed at various stages. We tried, these rush snaps and all that sort of stuff. In AFL footy, it just doesn't cut it these days. Now, guys, once again, it was probably good to be, I'm trying to think how to say this, Adelaide up there, Andy, defensively challenged us in that facet of the game, and, we just didn't have our probably A game on with regard to that clean and composed sort of look we look for. So, a lot of that is Adelaide's good play, and us, we can get a bit better in that facet of the game also.
Is it nice to be able to pick apart your performance like that and still win a game against a team that's 3-0 and haven't lost a quarter? What does that say about where the club's at?
Oh, well, that's probably fair. We sort of know where we're at. We've sort of got some work to do. We also understand we're building into something I think it could be pretty cool. But the fact of the matter is we've still got some work to do. The phases of the game, what was really important today, that our clearance game is down, but we still managed to be, the turnover battle we're actually still pretty good at. So, we spoke to the players at length about that at the end of the game. Sometimes your one-wood or your, contested or combative nature of the game is not going to be to the level, but it's always good to win a game with another phase. Yeah.
Daniel Rioli, we know why you recruited him, but today he looked awesome. What did you think of his performance?
Yeah, I thought him and Nobes both bring something quite unique. They're both very capable of with breaking lines, but also the ability to hit targets at speed. They both had some really. 80% of the game was very, very solid today. There's 20% of moments I'd probably like back. I reckon Nobes breathed a bit of sigh of relief. But that's what he's here for, to hit that kick sort of thing. So it was a great defensive play by the Adelaide player, but overall we've been really happy with what those boys have brought.
Well, that'd be the one aspect you look at, those two lots of 3-goal leads and just couldn't quite defend. I know the way the ball goes.
Yeah, but we sort of had opportunities to actually take advantage. A couple of really don't want to say poor bits of play, but plays that we'd love back, where all of a sudden we did something that we weren't quite expected to do, and all of a sudden it goes down the other end and they capitalise. So, they're moments that we need to play a little bit better, and they're the moments that we go through as a coaching group.
I suppose your forward line had support. You had 8 individual goal kickers, so obviously other guys got to come in and.
Yeah, it's been really pleasing. I think 8's probably the least we've had over the course of the first 3 weeks, but it's something we've known. We've got a couple of really good focal points. Ben King down there. I thought Jed really took a step forward today. Some big strong marks underneath, but then the Bash brothers in Will Graham and Bailey Humphrey, I thought were really, really important at various stages too. Sam Flanders is still finding his feet after missing a massive amount of pre-season, but some of the things he does up forward are really, really special too. And then there's Ben Ainsworth that just connects, various parts of our game as well. So those guys are starting to gel together. They've taken a little bit of time. They're still young and developing, but we're really excited about what those guys are going to be. Beautiful.
Thanks.